Hello students, today we are talking about the types of elastic constants. In the previous session we had a discussion on Hooke's law. What do you mean by Hooke's law? Within the elastic limit, stress produced in a body is directly proportional to strain. So here we keep on stretching this one, right? You are applying a longitudinal stress. Whatever the stress is produced is directly proportional to strain. For everything there is an elastic limit. Up to certain extent only you can stretch it. Beyond that you can't. If you beyond the elastic limit, if you apply the stress, there would be a permanent change in shape and size of the body. This is what is called as elastic limit. See, every body is having its own elastic limit. There are three elastic constants. As I mentioned from Hooke's law states that within the elastic limit, stress produced in a body is directly proportional to strain. Stress produced in a body is directly proportional to strain. So this is a Y. So let us consider a Y. Its length is L and area of cross section is A. Now you are applying a longitudinal stress. The stress offered by the body along its length is what is called longitudinal stress. Now you are increasing the length of the body. So you are increasing the length of the wire means you are applying a longitudinal stress, tensile stress, compressive stress. So these are the terminologies for longitudinal stress, right? Now, so what is Hooke's law? So for this wire also there is an elastic limit is there. If this metallic wire you stretch it, it will yield up to a particular breaking point. Am I right? Beyond that also you are applying the stress, there would be a permanent change in shape and size of the body, right? So what do you mean by Hooke's law? Stress produced in a body is directly proportional to strain. Therefore, stress is equal to E into strain. Therefore, E is equal to stress by strain. E is called elastic constant. There are three elastic constants. One is called Young's modulus. Second one is called bulk modulus, and third one is called rigidity modulus or shear modulus. So now we'll talk about the three elastic constants one by one. So what do you mean by Young's modulus? First elastic constant, this is the first elastic constant, Young's modulus. So what do you mean by Young's modulus? Young's modulus of a material is defined as the ratio of longitudinal stress by longitudinal strain. Longitudinal means along its length, or instead of longitudinal stress you can also call it as a compressive stress or tensile stress. Even compressive stress is also, you are compressing a body along its length, there is a decrease in length. You are extending the body, you are stretching the body, so there is an increase in the length, right? So whatever the stress is offered by the body along its length is what is called as longitudinal stress. Therefore, what do you mean by Young's modulus? Young's modulus is defined as the ratio of longitudinal stress to the longitudinal strain. What do you mean by longitudinal stress? As I mentioned, what do you mean by stress? Force offered, resistance force or deforming force offered by the material per unit area. Any stress is forced by area only, but it is a deforming force offered by the material per unit area. Resistive, right? Force by area whole divided by longitudinal stress. What do you mean by longitudinal stress? Force by area. Longitudinal strain, change in length by original length. Let us consider this is a wire of length 1 meter. Now you apply a load. You are applying a load of 10 Newton. There is an increase in length. Let us suppose delta L is the change in length. Delta L. So what do you mean by longitudinal strain? It is defined as the ratio of change in length to the original length of the wire. Therefore, I want to explain the Young's modulus. Let us consider a wire of length L meter, and the area of cross section is A. Area of cross section is A meter square. When there is no load is applied, one end is fixed to a rigid point. See here, this one end is fixed to a rigid point. For the free end, you apply the load, put the loads. ಸೊ ನೀವು ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಲಿಫ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನು ಜಿಮ್ನಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಲೋಡ್, ಕ್ರೇನ್ ಮಿಷಿನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟು. ಕ್ರೇನ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದ ಲೋಡ್, ರೈಟ್? ದ rope is under is purely under Young's modulus. It's under longitudinal stress. Iron rope wire. Crane is having an iron rope wire, so it is carrying the load. As load is increases, definitely there is a increase in length also, length of the rope of the iron wire. So now in this case, let us consider a wire of length L and area of cross section is A. One end is fixed to a rigid support, so the other end apply a load to the other end. The moment when there is no load is applied, this is the actual length of the wire. This would be the actual length of the wire in the absence of the load. As you keep on increase the load, there is an increase in the length of the wire. What is the increase in the length of the wire? Let delta L will be the delta L, small increase in the length of the wire. So therefore, when a load is when load is suspended to the free end, so the load is acting vertically downward. As a result, it keep on stretching. As you keep on increase the load, weight will increase at the free end. Hence, at the free end, the length of the wire there is an extension of the length of the wire. So therefore, what is Young's modulus? Young's modulus of the wire or the material is defined as the ratio of longitudinal stress, compressive stress, or tensile stress to the longitudinal strain. Any stress is defined as force by area. What do you mean by longitudinal strain? Change in length by virginal length. So change in length is delta L, virginal length is L. Take the reciprocal, therefore F by A into L by delta L. So let F is the load. Load is nothing but a weight itself is the weight acting. Weights are acting vertically downward. Therefore, force is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity, mg into L divided by A into delta L. If you simplify, what is F? Here, mg is the load you are suspending at the free end. Therefore, F is equal to mg into L by A into delta L. So, see, stress is measured in Newton per meter square. What is change in length? Look at carefully. Force is measured in Newton. Area is measured in Newton per meter square. Change in length is meter, and virginal length is also meter. Meter get cancelled. Strain is the physical quantity having no unit and no dimensions. So therefore, we conclude that the SI unit of Young's modulus is Newton per meter square. That's all. Please write down this thing, first thing. First one is Young's modulus. Let us consider a length of wire L whose area of cross section is A, which is fixed to a rigid support. One end is fixed to a rigid support. To the free end, keep on increase the load. As the load increases, there is an increase in the length of the wire. So for a particular load, let delta L be the extension in the length of the wire. So the load is acting vertically downward, therefore F is equal to m into G. Then the definition of Young's modulus is defined as the ratio of longitudinal stress by longitudinal strain. Stress is force by area, longitudinal strain is change in length by virginal length. Substitute and simplify, you'll get the answer. So now we'll move on to the bulk modulus. What do you mean by bulk modulus? Or see, a bulk modulus is defined as, it is a B is the symbol. It is defined as the ratio of volume stress, nothing but a hydraulic stress by volume strain. Volume stress or hydraulic stress divided by volume strain. The symbol for bulk modulus is B. Let us consider a spherical body. Of volume V. Its volume is V, and whose surface area of the spherical ball is A. And let F be the uniform force acting on at all the points on the surface of the sphere. So therefore, F is the uniform force is acting at all the points on the surface of the sphere. Therefore, what is bulk modulus? Bulk modulus is defined as a ratio of volume stress by volume strain. What is volume stress? Again, volume stress is force by area only. Volume stress is force by area. And again, volume strain. Volume strain is changing volume by original volume. See here, this is let P be the hydrostatic pressure. A metallic sphere is compressed. A metallic sphere is compressed with an hydrostatic fluid pressure. Therefore, so this metal sphere is inside the liquid or inside the fluid. So now you compress the fluid, the metal sphere is compressing. Am I right or not? So let what is pressure? P is the hydrostatic pressure acting on the metal sphere. So definitely there is a change in the volume of the metal sphere. Therefore, P is equal to, what do you mean by pressure? Here it is a P is a hydrostatic pressure. Pressure is equal to force by area. Now in place of force by area, you substitute pressure, delta V by V. So denominator, the denominator will go to numerator. This will becomes bulk modulus P is equal to P into V. P into original volume by change in volume. Again it is also Newton per meter square, because force is measured in Newton, area is also measured in meter square, change in volume is measured in meter cube, and original volume also measured in meter cube. Meter cube get cancelled. Hence volume strain do not having any unit. Then what is the unit of bulk modulus? Bulk modulus is expressed in Newton per meter square, where P is the hydrostatic pressure. P is the hydrostatic pressure. Is supplied to the metal sphere to compress the volume. Please copy the things. This is a spherical body, a spherical ball, a spherical body. Its original volume is V, and its surface area is A. It is acted upon by an external force, constant, uniform external force at every point, at all the points on the surface of the sphere. Therefore, bulk modulus is equal to volume stress is force by area by volume strain is change in volume by original volume. Let P be the hydrostatic pressure is required to decrease the volume to compress the sphere, volume of the sphere. Therefore, P is called force by area. Please simplify and just see the answer. Next, we will move on to what do you mean by compressibility? What do you mean by compressibility? Look at carefully. Compressibility is defined as the ratio of reciprocal of bulk modulus. What do you mean by compressibility? Compressibility is defined as the ratio of reciprocal of bulk modulus. 1 by bulk modulus is what is called compressibility. The symbol for compressibility is K. K is equal to 1 by bulk modulus. 1 by, what is bulk modulus? Bulk modulus is B. The expression for bulk modulus B is equal to PV by delta V. The denominator will go to numerator. Therefore, you get compressibility is equal to delta V by pressure into original volume. Compressibility K is equal to change in volume whole divided by pressure into original volume of the sphere. Original volume of the sphere. What do you mean by compressibility? Compressibility is defined as the reciprocal of bulk modulus. Next, third one. What is this one? There are three elastic constants. One is called Young's modulus Y, bulk modulus B, and last one is a shear modulus. The other name of shear modulus also called as what is this one? Rigidity modulus. RIGIDA. Rigidity modulus. What do you mean by rigidity modulus or shear modulus? Shear modulus is defined as a ratio of tangential stress. Tangential stress to the tangential strain or shear strain. It is defined as the ratio of shear stress to the shear strain. Shear, tangential stress. The other name of tangential also called as shear stress. Shear stress by shear strain. So, what is the shear stress? Let any stress is forced by area. So, shear strain. What is shear strain? Let theta be the shear strain is produced in a Y. So, as you mentioned about the shear strain. See here, these are the original faces of the rectangular cube. Now these are the fixed face. This is a fixed face. Now apply a tangential force on this top surface. So there is a dislocation of the surfaces. There is a movement of the surfaces. See here, this surface is changing. So there is a lateral displacement, right? So, or you can say here there is a change in the angle of the. This is the fixed face and the top face. For the top face, you are applying a tangential force. So there is a lateral displacement. There is an angular displacement of the sides of the rectangular cube. So what do you mean by shear modulus or rigidity modulus? It is defined as the ratio of shear stress by shear strain. Shear stress is tangential stress by tangential strain. So any stress is force by area. Let theta be the shear strain produced in the body. Therefore, F by A whole divided by theta. Nothing will be the denominator. So theta, denominator of the theta is what? Theta by 1. Theta is nothing, theta is not alone. It is theta by 1. So actually it is theta. Nothing will be here is 1. Therefore now it will become F by A into theta. F by A into theta. So this is what is called as rigidity modulus. Rigidity modulus is given by eta is equal to eta. Eta is the symbol for rigidity modulus. F by A theta, this is the formula for rigidity modulus or shear modulus. Eta is equal to, right? Eta is equal to, eta is nothing but a rigidity modulus is equal to it is y by 3. Whatever the value of y will be there, na? So it is another formula for eta. Eta is equal to y by 3. So y is called Young's modulus. Y is called as Young's modulus. Please copy the things. Eta is equal to Young's modulus divided by 3 for different material. For most of the materials, the value of rigidity modulus is equal to Young's modulus divided by 3. Please copy the things. Next, what do you mean by Poisson's ratio? Poisson's ratio is defined as a ratio of lateral strain to the longitudinal strain. Lateral means there is a decrease in the diameter. So let us consider this is a wire. This is a metallic wire. You stretch the wire. The moment when you stretch the wire, its diameter is decreasing. Diameter of the wire is decreasing. That is called lateral strain. So diameter is decreasing, matlab radius is also decreasing, but length is increasing. So definitely, what do you mean by Poisson's ratio? It is defined as the ratio of lateral strain by longitudinal strain. Lateral strain by longitudinal strain. Let us consider a wire of length L and area of cross section is A and its diameter is D. So when it is so to the free end, apply a load to the free end, right? There is a decrease in the diameter or decrease in the radius of the wire, and there is an increase in the length of the wire. Then what do you mean by lateral strain? Lateral strain is defined as the ratio of change in diameter, delta D by D, where D is the diameter of the wire. Change in diameter to the original diameter. And longitudinal strain. What is longitudinal strain? Change in length by original length. Change in length by original length. Just to simplify, you will get delta D by D. This will become reciprocal L by delta L, where D is the diameter of the wire. Normally, the value of Poisson's ratio for different material lies between 0.2 to 0.4. The value of Poisson's ratio for metallic wires or different materials lies between 0.2 to 0.4. So what do you mean by? So you have a rubber, you stretch the rubber. If you stretch the rubber, its diameter is decreasing, radius is also decreasing, but length is increasing. So diameter decreasing is nothing but a lateral strain. So lateral strain is change in diameter to the original diameter. Longitudinal strain, change in length by original length. Please copy the things. So now we will move on to the stress versus strain curve. What do you mean by stress versus strain curve? Very, very important. This is stress versus strain curve. We already explained what do you mean by Hooke's law. Stress produced in a body is directly proportional to strain. Every material having its own elastic limit. So now we'll move on to the stress versus strain curve. So now here, when you plot the graph against taking stress along the x-axis and strain along the y-axis, stress is expressed in Newton meter square. Strain is a physical quantity, do not having any unit because ratio of the same kind of physical quantity. So if you plot a graph of for an ordinary steel wire, for a normal steel wire, this is the graph you are obtaining. As what do you mean by stress? You are increasing the load. As you keep on increasing the load, there is an increase in the stress. Stress is 1 Newton per meter square, 2 Newton, 3 Newton. As you keep on increasing the stress, first is 1 Newton per meter square, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. So 1 Newton per meter square is the stress. Right? So this is strain, corresponding strain is also. Strain do not having any unit, strain is a value 1, 2, maybe 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6 because the values of the Poisson's ratio lie from 0.2 to 0.4, that's why. So now if you plot a curve, put a curve for stress versus strain, right? This is a Y, you are keep on loading you are suspending the load to the lower free end of the Y. So it means that you are increasing the stress. Please up to the region O to A, O to Re, stress is directly proportional to strain. From the region O to A, where Hooke's law will holds good. As you increase the stress, there is an increase in the strain also. Right? As stress increases, strain will also increase as the region O to A. O to region OA is called Hooke's law, where stress is directly proportional to strain in this region OA. OA is a, so next beyond A, if you increase the stress, A is called proportionality limit. The A is called proportionality limit, where Hooke's law will holds good. There is a linear relation between the stress and strain O to A. Beyond A, what happens? You increase the stress, there is an increase in the length, and you decrease the load, you decrease the stress, again it will bring back it will get back to its original configuration. So B is called elastic limit, right? O to A is an elastic region where Hooke's law will holds good. Stress is directly proportional to strain. As stress increases, strain will also increases. O to A is a proportionality limit. Beyond A, if you increase the stress, definitely there is an increase in the length of the wire up to B. So if you remove the load, if you remove the stress, again the body will come back to its original shape and size. That is called, B is called elastic limit. Further increase in the stress, look at carefully from B to C, further increase in the value of stress, right? So what is C? C is called yield point, that is called ultimate strength. Look at carefully, for a small increase in the stress, there is a larger increase in the value of strain. For small, look at carefully, only this much of increase in stress, there is a larger increase in the value of strain. Where C is called yield point or ultimate strength. Where, so here it is an elastic region. B to C is an elastic region. The body will regain its original shape and size. Beyond C, if you apply the force beyond C, C to D is a plastic region. The body will not regain its original shape and size. And what is D? D is called breaking point. For a particular stress, the body, there is a permanent change in shape and size of the body. What is called D is a breaking point. O to E is called breaking stress. So I will summarize the report, very simple. This is the stress versus strain graph. O to A, where Hooke's law will holds good. beyond A is called proportional limit. Now increase the stress from A to B, increase the stress from A to B, again there is an increase in the length of the Y. Now you decrease the stress, again the body will regain its original shape and size in the region A to B. Again further increasing the value of stress, am I right? Further increasing the value of stress. For a small change in the value of stress, there is a larger change in the value of strain. Again, C is yield point. There is a change in length. So the reason the point C is if it is having at that point C, the wire is having more ductility. Ductility means one can drawn into a thin wire, which can be drawn into a thin wire. Ductility. So from C to D, if you increase the stress, the body is under malleable. One can be made into a thin sheet, right? Malleable. C to D. That is called as a breaking, where D is called breaking point and corresponding stress OE is called breaking stress. This is called stress versus strain graph.